Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you don't know, my name is Grace. Welcome to my channel. I have been pregnant for the last 3 months, and so I've been pretty busy and tired. So I haven't been posting, but I will post more often as best as I can. And I just wanted to update you guys with some of my very first trimester symptoms that I've had. Currently, I'm on my 13th week, the first week of second trimester, and it's been a huge difference between the first and the second trimester. But today I will go over some of the symptoms I've had from 1 DPO all the way till 15 to 16 DPO. And in my next video, I'll talk about first trimester, the rest of the first trimester symptoms and what I ate and how I coped with all the beautiful symptoms that come along with first trimester. So at 1 DPO, if you don't know, DPO stands for days post ovulation, and I was tracking. So I had a miscarriage last year in October, November, and so we haven't tried for about 4 or 5 months, and then I started trying again, and I wanted to keep track, and I got pregnant right away. 1 DPO, I had immediate uterine contractions. It felt very prickly and had this burning pain and very tight feeling. I was feeling really hungry and thirsty the night before I slept and the morning of. I also started having eczema, which is crazy because like all this happens the first days post ovulation, all the way to 4 days post ovulation. I've had all these symptoms. So eczema, like I started having like really itchy rashes on my fingers, and I didn't have it prior to being pregnant. I also noticed I had eczema during my first pregnancy when I had the miscarriage. My hair started becoming very greasy, so sometimes I wouldn't shower for 2 to 3 days and it would be okay, but after not showering for even 1 day, I noticed my hair got greasy like really fast. At that time, I wasn't sure if this was a symptom or not, but looking back now, I was like, oh yeah, definitely I need to shower more often. I started getting acne along my jawline and my cheek areas and my side forehead, and I felt really gassy the first couple of days. About the acne, I never really have acne, so it's super rare for me to get acne, so I knew like my body was going through these changes very rapidly. And I started freaking out at first. I was like, oh my gosh, is this my period coming? And maybe this is a new period symptom that I'm having. But because I never really had acne even during my PMS period, I just kind of assumed like, okay, there might be a chance that I might be pregnant. Yes, I was feeling really gassy the first couple of days. I had a white discharge. I know this might sound TMI, but actually it might be helpful for you to know that, not all discharges are bad, but obviously there are some that needs to be checked by the doctor. But I did have like a white discharge, a vaginal discharge. It started out with a thin clear discharge, and then I think it turned into a more solid white. I'm not sure if that's really important, but usually I don't get discharges for my period, and so I knew like my body was changing differently, and so these are the signs that I've kind of caught on earlier on. At 5 DPO, I was feeling really nauseous. So usually like at church service, I would be standing and clapping my hands, but I couldn't get through the worship session, and I just felt like I needed to throw up, but I didn't throw up. And I had random outbursts of tears, so I felt like really angry and moody. And I was like, wait, this kind of happens 1 week before I get my period. Usually I would have these random outbursts of tears and crying, but this one was a little bit crazy. This one, I started a fight with my husband, and obviously he was like, I think you're PMSing. I thought that too, and I was like, okay, maybe I am just PMSing. I also had depression. It's not diagnosed as depression, but I felt so many intrusive thoughts in my head that I don't really have, and I thought that was really weird. Obviously I felt very sad. My mood was going like ups and downs frequently, and I was feeling really lonely and sad. Like that whole day, five DPO, I was feeling like sad the whole day. At 6 DPO, I was really sleepy, and it's like not the type of sleepy where you get like lack of sleep and you feel drowsy, but it's like you get like good 8 to 9 hours of sleep, but you still feel really drowsy like throughout the day. You just want to close your eyes. You just want to like knock out. I started eating double portion meals, so I think I found myself like super hungry and I was snacking throughout the entire day, and I was craving citrus fruits, especially lemons. So starting off the day with lemon water and like just squeezing lemon into my cup of water was just so satisfying. I drank lots of water and I still had like a dull pain cramp down there. At this point, I still wasn't sure if it was my PMS or if I was actually pregnant. So at 7 DPO, I continued to eat double portion. I was drinking lots of water. I was craving fiber and fruits, walking around and staying away from carbs because I was once diagnosed with prediabetes, and so I didn't want to risk myself getting gestational diabetes this time. And I was just feeling exhausted, and there was more yellow to white discharge down there. Yeah, that day I was eating like chips from Trader Joe's and dark chocolate, and these were my two most favorite snacks during this week, and I would just go through the entire bag almost in one sitting. It was not even, it was scary. Like it was not even funny. I okay, it is funny now. I felt like nothing could really satisfy my craving, which is really weird. And I had a lot of vivid dreams. I am a very deep sleeper, and so having vivid dreams is very rare to me. And I heard that even in the very early on of pregnancy, you could start having dreams and you remember those dreams. And that's what happened at 7 DPO. So at 8 DPO, obviously, given all these symptoms, like I was like, wait, they are not my typical PMS symptoms. I feel like my body is changing differently and more dramatically. So I decided to take a pregnancy test at 8 DPO and 9 DPO, and it came out negative. I was still feeling very fatigued and sleepy all day. I kept waking up during the night. I had like slight insomnia and I was feeling really moody, like really sad, depressed, tired, and just like blah. Like I didn't want to do anything during the day. I just wanted to sit or lie down on the couch. And my scalp was so itchy. And so I looked it up on Google, and apparently people said that this is because of change in hormones. So it can be a symptom of pregnancy, and my eczema worsened on my fingers, and I was peeling my skin because it was just so bad. I put like hydrocortisone cream on it to relieve the itchiness. Cramping got worse, so the cramping, I think within like 1 to 2 hour time frame at 9 DPO, I just felt like this really big cramp, and I was like, okay, maybe it's my period starting, but it could be the sign of implantation as well. So I looked down like in my underwear and I checked, and there was no blood or anything, so not even pink or brown blood, which happened with my first pregnancy. When I had the miscarriage, I had pinkish brownish blood, so I knew that was implantation, but this time there was no sign on my underwear, and my cramping was just like there. So at 10 DPO, told you guys about like the implantation and how there was like a huge cramp, I guess crampy feeling. There was no implantation bleeding. I checked the next morning, and I was just like itchy like everywhere, like not just my hair but like my body. And I woke up in the middle of the night because I was like craving eggs all of a sudden, and I was just eating like eggs. And this was different from my first pregnancy because I just hated eggs. I had like an egg aversion and I just couldn't stand eggs. 11 DPO, my pregnancy test came out positive and I was like so shocked. I'm sorry I didn't record my reaction to my pregnancy test. I was more wary this time because of my miscarriage. I had a bit of a trauma there and I didn't want to record anything during that time. And so 12 DPO, I took another test and it was positive with a darker line. And 13 DPO, I had a new symptom. So I had all the pre-existing symptoms that I listed out on here, but at 13 DPO, I had a new symptom, which was sore throat and sneezing a lot. And this can be due to like a weaker immune system. I wasn't sure. 14 DPO, I was feeling super bloated and my stomach, like every time I ate, my stomach, it really looked like I was pregnant. Like I was just like, can my stomach be this big? Early on I wasn't sure, but I did feel bloated and it could be a lot of the water weight, and I was coughing the night before, and I confirmed my pregnancy at 15 DPO and 16 DPO. So I was like, for sure I am pregnant. My initial reaction was obviously shock because I didn't want to, I was like denying, I was like in denial because I didn't know that I get pregnant so fast after a miscarriage, and I was just very happy at the same time and excited obviously, but scared and anxious all in one moment, and it's just all these emotions kind of like flood into you. And I immediately told my husband, and he was like looking at the pregnancy test and he was like, what, like really? The first trimester is incredibly difficult to get through, but if there's any mamas out there who are pregnant and who are going through the first trimester, I just want to encourage you. You are doing such a good job, and I am rooting for you, and I know how tough it can be, but just there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and just keep holding on. This is like a quick summary of the symptoms I've had for the first 16 days post ovulation, and I didn't want to make this video too long, but at the same time I wanted to engage with any moms or future moms out there who are planning to have a baby. Please follow for more content and follow me along this pregnancy journey as I am like going through and struggling and learning a lot with you guys, and I'll see you in my next video.